almost broke my leg on the way to the theater, but hey, I at least got to see the Mario movie. I don't think I've had my finger on the pulse of a film like this in a really long time. I and everybody has been super excited to see this, and now it's finally come out and everybody seems to have gone insane. Look at these people, they're saying that this movie's offensive. It's like the modern Looney Tunes. What are you getting mad about? Critics seem to be stuck between calling the movie mid or horrible or the best movie ever. But I had tempered my expectations, knowing that it was Illumination. I only wanted the movie to be entertaining. I didn't even need it to be good. And as is, it's pretty good. This movie actually exceeds a lot of my expectations, and it quelled some of the concerns that most of us had. Chris Pratt is actually pretty good in this movie. From the trailers, he seemed to be giving it no effort, but in the actual movie, he seems to be trying to put on like an Italian accent, but also like a New York accent a little bit. It's not really that bad, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in future movies. The plot is about as simple and conventional as you can get, but that's fine because Mario is less about the actual story and more about the characters and the worlds that they explore. And these are some beautiful worlds. The animation of this movie is probably the best out of any Illuminations movie. And as for the characters, I think they're represented pretty well. Mario as a character is usually associated with having no personality, but in my opinion this isn't really true. In the games he is determined and courageous, but he is also kinda cheeky. He's not really above getting into petty conflicts, but usually makes it out on top by being good at coming up with solutions on the spot. And in this movie, we see him get a character arc where he learns the importance of staying determined and standing up against Bowser. Like, it's no Lego movie or anything like that, but it is more than he gets in the games. We get a bit of expansion on his family, and there's something kind of funny about Mario having a dad that says he's disappointed in him. And in conflict, he actually gets a good rivalry with Donkey Kong. This turmoil is the oldest in the Mario franchise, so I think it's good to represent it in a playful and comedic way. And speaking of comedy, this movie is actually pretty funny by Illumination standards. Like, it's not laugh out loud funny all the time, but there are some jokes that did give me a chuckle. They really play into the strengths and weaknesses of these characters and give them some cute interactions that are funny. The joke about the princess being in another castle, the mini mushroom joke, was really well paced for fans and non-fans of the movie. And I don't know if this was on purpose, but I think it's pretty funny that the Luma of all characters was the one that was being all depressed and existential. Like, I don't know if they realized what they were doing, but if they did, then good job. But I think if I want to talk about the comedy, I'm going to finally have to talk about Bowser. Bowser is my favorite character in the Mario games. Every time I get the choice to pick him in a game, I'm always going to play as him. And in this movie, he steals every scene. Jack Black and Bowser are a match that is made in heaven. His inflection and tone perfectly match the intimidating yet hilarious scenes he has when he plays the piano and sings the song about how he gets no peaches. Like, that was made for meme material. It's a hard balance to make him go from turbo incel to genuinely menacing, but he works as a highly entertaining antagonist. One thing I will say is that in this movie, he's a little psychotic. Like, I don't think he ever kills anybody in the games, but in this movie, he's like super murderous. And I hope that in the sequels, they lean into some of his more comedic side, but as is, he works well to push the protagonist to their limits. But this is where the main issues with the movie kind of arise, because besides these characters, everybody else is kind of mid. Toad isn't really that funny in this movie, and he has almost no presence. He works more as a hindrance than a supporting character, and the movie probably could have done without him. And in the last video, I said that I didn't like Peach Skywalker, but it's not like I need Peach to get captured in every story. She has good moments in the games and other media, so I'm completely open to seeing something where she isn't just the damsel in distress. But Peach in this movie is almost unrecognizable from Peach in the games. She is so ridiculously powerful that she doesn't even really need Mario for this movie. She can just fix everything on her own. She's perfect. She didn't even need the Kong army to stop Bowser. There was a point where I genuinely thought that Mario wouldn't even get the final punch and that Peach was gonna be the one to end the conflict, but thankfully that didn't happen. But the worst part about Luigi and Peach switching places is that now Luigi spends about 80% of the movie doing nothing. He is genuinely just stuck in a cage waiting for an hour, and that's a shame because Charlie Day does a pretty good job playing Luigi. I just don't understand why you would want to separate Mario and Luigi. And I know everybody's mentioned this before, but you didn't really need for him to be captured in this movie. The plot is so high stakes makes that him being captured is completely inconsequential. You could have just replaced him with Toad and the movie probably would have been more interesting. And although I did say that the plot isn't really that important, I do think that the movie has some big pacing issues. Like, the movie doesn't know when to slow down. Everything goes by lightning fast and it makes the movie feel incredibly short. If this wasn't such a conventional story, I probably wouldn't be able to tell when the first, second, and third act happen. It kind of makes every moment in the movie feel weightless. And considering that this is a movie with very little filler by Illumination standards, they could have probably done with adding more filler. I mean, Mario's more about the laid back scenes, so more fan service moments would have been nice. That's not to say that the movie doesn't have enough fan service, because it is full of references to Mario and other Nintendo things. From the really obvious to some of the subtle ones in the background. Kinda like it was made for one of those 101 things you missed in the Mario movie videos. But I think that they were all pretty respectful. The score of the movie is an amalgamation of pre-existing Mario music, which at first I didn't really like, but it kinda won me over as it went along. There are some themes I didn't really think would translate well, like the Super Power Star theme, but it actually does work for a good finale music. But what I didn't like was when like the AC/DC and like Aha and Bonnie Tyler songs kinda came in. Like, they felt really weird and out of place. I don't think they should have used those. The gameplay section is a 1-to-1 from the game, and that's probably for the best. The power-ups work the same way to make the action scenes more exciting, but it does make some of them kind of repetitive after a while. The first side-scrolling sequence is fun, but after that they kind of turn into just a mess of movement, so your eyes just gloss over everything that's happening. Except the Donkey Kong fight, that one was really good. But I do think this kind of reflects the full effect of this movie. It's pretty good. I'd even dare say it's above average, and that's a lot from Illuminations. I never thought I would see the day when Illumination and DreamWorks both made better movies than both Disney and Pixar in the span of 1 year. But while I disagree when people say that this is a bad movie, I don't blame them for expecting more. This movie doesn't really explore Mario in the movie format beyond what we know in the Mario franchise, and that's probably because Nintendo is very protective of the brand. And while I think that for this movie most people are going to be satisfied, I think the next movie is going to have to go a lot harder. When the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 comes out, people will be expecting much more. They will be less accepting of a normal conventional story like this one. But for now, I give it a 7 out of 10. The movie's good, go watch it. That's all I got for this video. Goodbye!